You're a Dawah bro giving a conference.
She was thinking that for a while.
Feminism.
Females.
Feminism. Sister, you cannot wear your jacket under your jilbab.
Hey guys, welcome back to another
guest appearance episode.
Guys, as you guys can see, we're in a setup, so that only means one thing. We've got a guest.
But not just any guest.
Not just any guest, guys.
This
Not
is
just
a
any
big
guest.
one.
This is a Ramadan special.
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys are very, very aware of a certain podcast that creates a space, yes, for women navigating life, purpose, growth in a digital age.
Yes.
It's about honest conversations. It's about real experiences and intentional sisterhood.
And she beat Joe Rogan on the Spotify.
She
challenge.
did.
As a woman, as a niqabi, as a hijabi, as a black person.
Exactly. And she was also #1 in the education series in the UK. In
Featuring
America.
the girlies
In
at the
Canada.
same time.
Yes.
Who is it, guys? Ladies
We
and
have
gentlemen.
none other
the
guys,
one and
but our
only.
pleasure to have,
Our honour.
our honour to have Cadar from Digital Sisterhood.
Her first appearance on camera. We are honoured.
We are so honoured.
I am very honored. I just want to say, what an intro. What an intro. And only women are going to gas you up like that.
Flowers.
Sorry, thank you so much. Thank you guys. Oh my God. I'm so honored to be here. First of all,
I'm so
happy
honoured
to
that
have
it's your
you.
first camera appearance.
yeah, well, you know, I've been on camera-ish one time, but it was like a very local. You'll never find that video.
Really?
So
Okay,
I
then.
never consider it a first camera, but I was on One Path Network and I did an
okay.
interview with them, but this is my proper, like, I consider a video.
I'm so
Yeah,
gassed.
I'm so excited. Alhamdulillah.
So I feel like the only way to kind of like, you know, have an icebreaker is to do this or that.
This or
We
that.
have a
This or
segment.
that.
We need to stop doing that.
It's embarrassing in front of the people, yo.
We have this
have a
segment and
segment,
we have a
yeah.
dance with it as well. I don't know why.
Come on,
This or that.
you gotta deal with us, yeah?
It's acting the real for me.
It's the right shoulder first, yeah?
Okay, right shoulder.
Welcome to
This or that. Okay, wow. I got scared a little bit. Whoa, I didn't bring out the shoulders today.
Can't do that.
I know it was dancing in the past life.
No,
She
Julie
got the
was.
mood.
Julie was.
In the present.
Okay, so coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Oh, okay. Do you know what? I feel like it's like not an American,
What about-
Canadian.
Yeah.
What about this Somali Shah?
Somali Shah, I will do only Somali Shah. But I'm not even a
Okay.
hot drinker. I'm a cold drinker. I'm an ice queen.
Even though your country is in like sub-zero temperatures.
And I will order an ice cap. And all my Tortoise knows exactly what I'm talking about. Ice cap below
You know
zero.
we have one here.
we have one here, yeah.
Do you, but is it
trash.
the same?
It's trash.
It's not that great.
It's just sugar. Like just sugar in a cup.
okay.
But then
Then-
again, I've never tried a Canadian one.
Then I hate to say that it is the same because ours is just sugar.
Okay.
Then they're on brand. They're on brand.
Amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
Stay in or go out?
At my age now, stay in. Yep.
Really?
Homebody.
I'm tired. Especially after COVID.
Lord knows I'm tired.
Girl, we tired. And what's that song? Tired of the way you treat me. TikTok
She's
trends.
also-
I'm tired. I'm really.
I'm screaming.
So,
Okay, planner or go with the flow?
Ooh, planner, go with the flow.
Go with the flow?
But if I go to a country I've never been and I really want to be there, I'm a planner.
Okay. Texting or voice notes?
Voice note.
Voice
Come on,
notes.
now.
Voice
Come on,
notes,
we
yeah.
know I'm a podcaster.
Storyteller.
I was
100%.
podcasting first on voice notes.
That's true.
My natural transition was the podcast.
We need to get into
Girl,
that.
who isn't a podcaster do voice note? I feel like everyone, the first podcast is a voice note.
Yeah.
That's so true.
You know?
That's so true.
That's when you realise that you have the skills.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
Storytelling
you're
skills
sending
and
me
all
a
that.
10-minute voice note. This is a podcast.
Literally.
Unwarranted, held against my will to listen.
Okay, working solo or co-working?
Girl, working solo or co-working?
Because I feel like you've experienced both.
My work is co-working mostly with my producers and writers.
Of course.
But I do like working alone. It's nice. It
okay.
can be really cozy. So I'm going to say, if I could choose, I'd love to work solo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Vision board or written goals?
Ooh, vision board. I'm a visual.
Yeah, I'm a visual learner.
I'm a visual learner.
Always.
Agreed.
Or this one, I want to ask you because obviously you've got a podcast. Of course.
Yeah, okay.
So deep talks or small talk?
Deep talk. I hate small talks.
I hate it too.
I cringe.
Yeah,
I
I
cringe.
hate
It's
small
like,
talk,
just
honestly.
tell
You bump
me.
into that
Get to the
friend
point,
from
yo.
school.
Yeah.
and
like
Yeah.
acquaintance, and you're like, okay, now what?
Just tell me what happened to you when you were 8. Let's just get to it. Let's just
Let's
break.
trauma dump.
Let's
Why
just
not?
break it, and then we could be cool.
Exactly.
I don't know why getting to deep stuff makes small talk bearable.
It does.
Does that make
That's
sense?
so true.
Because you've already done the personal stuff.
Yeah. And I feel like small talk is just shallow and cold. I feel like we just do
There's
that,
no
just do
meaning.
that, and we don't look at people as people.
don't
But if
truly
I
care.
know you, the small talk feels good.
Yeah.
That's
Hey,
so
how
true.
are you doing? I know you're doing good.
Yes.
You're good.
That's
So
so
it's
true.
not like I'm being, ignorant, but I feel like it's more personable. So I like, let's get to the hard stuff and then bond, and then we can do the rest.
I like that actually.
Yeah.
That makes so much more sense. Private or open book?
So everybody will tell you I'm an open book, but low key, I'm private about things I care about.
Okay.
I like that.
So
Okay,
I'm selective
Faz.
what I'm private about. Like for example, like what am I private about? Like for example, this is a funny one. But I swear I told everybody. I don't know what's wrong with everybody. Okay, I don't know what's wrong with them. I'm allergic to peanuts. Okay, and I've always been allergic to peanuts. I've said it. But if you hang out with my friends, yo, you want peanuts? You want some peanut butter? Bro, I'm allergic.
Yeah,
And they're like,
I've been.
Wallah, I forgot. No, it's not I forgot. You guys just don't.
You just don't care.
No. My friends, they do care. It's just sometimes there's certain things that I guess I am. They say that I don't talk about it enough.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm like, I don't want you to find out what could kill me.
Yeah.
Maybe maybe I'm like,
kryptonite.
I'm like, you could actually murder me. You know what I'm saying? So let me not tell you, fam. So maybe I'm just like watching my own back.
So
Maybe
what do you
that's
do
what
on
I'm saying.
planes?
Yeah, on planes.
Girl, I just don't eat anything. First of all, who eats plain food? I don't eat plain food.
Wait, but like, are you like an airborne? Like, is it like an airborne illness
so
or is
I'm
it just
technically
digesting?
intermediate. So basically, I can
Okay.
smell it. I could be around it,
So
but
smell wouldn't set
it
you
doesn't.
off.
If I ingest it, I'll have
So it's an ingesting thing, okay.
You know, but I don't like it. It still gives me hives. My smell, it smells nasty. Like to me, it's just I don't even like my every
It's a
chromosome.
good thing to have an allergic
Yeah.
reaction to.
It's like your body's
I
like,
mean-
this is nasty.
But I love
Like,
a Reese's. I love Reese's.
girl,
Reese's
Reese's
is
overhyped.
So like, when did you realize you had the allergic reaction?
Yeah.
Somewhere in your childhood.
Funny
after
story.
Reese's.
It happened outside a recess, like where we play outside, and a small auntie gave it to me accidentally. She goes, "Oh, you look hungry." Gave it to me.
You look hungry.
So-
she wasn't Somali kid.
But she
You
looked
look
hungry.
This one's still famine right
She
now.
looked, and then she almost killed me. And then I just started, I can't breathe. And she said, "Stop joking around." I just walk out in front of her, and I just remember people are rushing, and I think they knew right away this is like an allergy reaction. And somebody hit me with EpiPen, and then I just
ready.
subhanAllah, it was like. I thought I was like, that's it. And my mom thought it was. And so it was, that was, and then I went to the doctor that day saying, "Oh my God, your daughter's really allergic to peanuts." Like yeah.
really allergic.
But I found out when I was 10.
Oh, okay.
I found out as an adult.
Oh,
Like,
I was gonna say that's a good age to find out.
yeah,
it's
it's good to find out
yeah.
earlier,
True, to be
so that
fair.
doesn't happen to me outside
Yeah, the news
because
with
some
a
lady wants to
random
feed
neighbor.
me. You know what I'm saying?
That's
So
true.
how did I found it? After that, I've avoided it. But the thing is, though, fun fact: I do not carry my EpiPen. Ask me why.
Oh my
Why?
God.
No, why?
I just, I'm a thug. I don't carry. I don't need to do that.
She said I'm Canadian.
I don't do
I'm
that.
Toronto, the
If I'm
same,
gonna,
like,
if I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die.
you can't
it's
be
your
a thug against allergies.
No,
yeah?
and you know what? Everyone gives me this. He says this is wrong.
Yeah,
this
it
is
is
wrong.
wrong. You have to tie your camel,
You still have to
sis.
tie your camel. You still tie- It's just, it just feels weird. Where am I supposed to carry this big thing? This long, it looks like Ozempic.
Because you need it to stay,
It looks
yo.
like, to me, it looks like the allegations were, are you hitting
On
Ozempic one time?
Ozempic,
Because imagine having it while you only have it when you're eating. You know what I'm saying? So
Oh, she's like,
that's actually
I'm on the
it just
Literally.
looks weird.
Oh,
It
that
just
is
looks
so
weird.
funny.
So I'm like,
It's
yo,
life or
it's
death,
fine,
man.
life or
No,
death.
honestly,
That's it.
yeah.
Or surviving.
Yeah, exactly.
But I found techniques that work. So basically, if I eat a penis by accident, I just have to drink a lot of milk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I drink a lot. It's like
That's the antidote.
it's like anti-inflammatory. I don't know what it is. I
So
drink a
how
lot
did
of
you
milk.
find that out then?
So one day I didn't have it, fam, and I ate it from an aristocrat. I was in Paris. I was in Paris,
They're not
and they
helping you.
gave me pistachio. Turns out I'm also allergic to pistachio, so I ate it.
Oh
and
my
I said,
gosh.
and I remember I looked to my friend. I said, "You know what? Eat something, you realize you're dead."
Oh my
It's
God.
dead. And I felt it right
at
away. I
this
said,
moment, I knew.
You felt your throat
and
closing up.
I was so calm. I said, "Today's my janaza." She goes, "Welcome to my funeral." She goes, "With me, I'm having a peanut allergy." She goes, "Why would you say it like that? Why are you making a joke?" I said, "I don't know what to do right now. I'm in the middle of the street in Paris. I don't know what to do."
Oh my
She
God.
goes, "Oh, like it's like some girls like, oh, it's like, is that like drinking bleach? Because you know if you drink bleach, you just need to drink milk." I said, "Just bring the milk. I don't know what you're talking about."
Just bring me the
Okay,
milk.
one second.
please.
Let's just backtrack a bit. Why does that girl know that? Bring
Yeah.
it milk. Yeah.
Well, I think it's because she also was studying nursing and like
And she
kids.
drank bleach as a child.
She's learning about what kids could do with home products and what you should do.
Okay.
So she's like, "Hey, let's try just drinking a lot of milk." And I remember I went to a close convenience. I bought milk this big, and I chugged it. I took bricks and I chugged it. And I sat down, and I felt better, and I vomited, and then I was okay.
Okay,
Then I
can we
realized-
carry the pen now? please?
Yeah,
I
no,
need
I
the
just
pen.
I just need to be anywhere to buy milk.
Okay.
Okay.
You know?
So
She
But
doesn't
I
want
will-
the pen,
I
she
will-
just wants milk.
I will
But
take that
please,
nasiha. I
yeah.
will start taking
You know
it.
what? Lactose.
Yeah, because
Chugging milk is
but the one
coming
thing I
out the other
do, you know, one thing I do know, Allah SWT is kind. So He gave me peanuts, but He didn't make me lactose.
Exactly.
So He
There you
knew.
go. Gave you
The
that
cure,
shit.
the cure gotta work, you know?
Absolutely. Do you know what? Yeah, on the back of that, we need to know who you are. Because I feel like on your podcast, you always speak about other people's stories and stuff, but we want to hear about you, about who Adel is. Yeah. So talk to us about where you grew up and
She's
What's
proud
your
of herself.
government name?
What's your
Government
name?
name.
Social
all of
security
that.
number.
Yeah.
What's your
parents'
flight back
name.
number?
That is
Yeah.
so
What seat are
funny.
you sitting on?
Yes.
Who you here
Wait,
with?
by the way, we need all of it.
Valid questions. But you know,
How much are you getting paid?
you know, it's so interesting. It's Toronto culture not to be sharing too much of our govy name. So it's so funny because Toronto people,
You guys are really thugs.
we all have. Yeah, I don't know what we're hiding from. But if
hiding
you notice, a lot of us have nicknames. Sometimes you'll know only somebody for a nickname for years and not know their real name. And then if you say, they'll say, "Yo, why are you saying my government name?" Like it's it's like a. I don't know. I think we like being discreet. So it's funny. Like government. I'm getting scared. My heartbeat was right. Really? I was getting a little nervous. I said, "What do you want?"
No, you out here. You're really gangsters out there. I'm not lying.
We're very paranoid for whatever reason. But I grew up in Toronto, Canada. I grew up in the West End,
District 12.
Etobicoke, West End girly. I grew up, despite popular belief, I actually grew up with a lot of Caucasian people.
Oh, okay.
You know, and so I didn't grow up with Somali people. So for me, my worldview is very differently shaped than, for example, my co-founder, Sophia, who grew up with Somalis.
Yeah.
So for me, and she's a Naqabi too. So you imagine 2 Naqabis with glasses. One group of Somalis, one did not, girl.
Yeah.
I was relating with the Valley girls. Like, yeah. You know what I mean? She's like,
Starbucks.
Literally. I mean, that's, you know, not Starbucks. But I will say, like, subhanAllah, like, I grew up in a very different way. And so my want to podcast storytelling is so different.
Yeah.
Because I was a person that wasn't close to Muslims in the same way, and so my journey was harder. It was harder to find belonging and understanding. And so for me, when I tell stories, I do it on a basic level. It's like, just tell me how you got here from.
Yeah.
You know, because that's what I was asking my entire life. Like, how did somebody go from here to here? And sometimes when you grow up with Somalis or grow up with Muslims, you don't talk about the pre. People always act like they just came out like this.
Yeah.
You know, like Hijab, and I came out like this yesterday, and this is how it. And I'm like, that's not real life. You know, like
there's a story.
There's a story there, and
Of
so I've always
course.
been a person interested in story. But I really think it's because it was really shaped by my upbringing and background. Grew up. I went to an what you would consider like a closed high school, maybe Ivy League. You had to do a test to get in.
Oh wow.
Got into the test. Yeah, got into the test. I don't know. I'm almost trying so hard to make sure that we got to the best high school. So that means opportunities in the world opened up for us. I got in, alhamdulillah. And because I got in, my brother got in. So they would always let you in and then your sibling. So it was me and my brother who got into this school called Ursula Franklin Academy. It was great. And it was really different. People think it was like this academic, you know. Girl, we had, well, I kid you, I'm kid you not. There were programs on Wednesdays. There was no class. So there's no like mathematics. It was just random 4 classes of the day and we could do whatever we wanted. So we had bird watching.
Bird watching?
Well, I could do not. There was bird watching. Yeah, we did bird watching. And then guess what? We had naps. One class where you just sleep. You go to the drama room and you sleep.
This sounds like a dream.
I kid you not.
Bird watching.
And people, every time I say this, people think I'm lying. I said, I promise you, look it up right now. It's called like, I don't know, it's called a type of high school that's like all academic, so you couldn't do college level programming. Okay. But they did it alternatively styled.
Oh, I love that.
So they tried to be a little bit forward thinking,
that.
and no high school existed in Canada like that. Yeah. And we got
into
it.
And it was
like, so girl, I was napping in 3rd period, going to bird watching, and our teacher was really into like Blue Jays. So we don't watch Blue Jays. I'm like, girl, this is great. Or we do cross country. It was just random programming. Or you could come up with a program. I remember one time there was a program where people screamed.
Literally.
You go to the gym and you just screamed.
They had a scream class.
Before
it was a trend.
Before the big in Minnesota, I was like, oh, surprisingly, my class had to get year 2. Like literally, I was like, yeah.
The most we had was you get milk at the end of the day.
It was just very different. It was very different.
That's so mad.
And how old were you for this?
I was high school, so I would say like between 14 to 17. That was just like, but when we were doing academia, it was hard. It was hard life, fam. Everybody was, and it was also not a lot of black people, and there wasn't barely any Muslims. So
if you're bird watch, you're not gonna find a black man.
Definitely not. I mean,
in bird watching class,
we were looking for them.
The most black people in the sky.
Literally. In the sky,
it just wasn't my reality. Yeah. And so because of that, although I had a lot of perks and stuff like that, I felt really lost.
Yeah. So is that what influenced you to like start
your own journey?
And like speaking about it as well.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to tell the story, but you know, the person that really changed my story was a teacher. It was my teacher Glenda. I hope Glenda's doing
we love
great.
Glenda.
Glenda. You had a Glenda?
Galinda.
You had a Glinda. I had a Glenda.
We didn't have anything.
Oh, okay.
I had a Miss McCann.
I had a Patrick.
You had a Patrick.
Yeah.
Was he nice?
He was great.
Patrick.
Patrick was like,
who's that?
My rock.
Oh my God. We had that
If you're
teacher.
out there,
Yeah.
there's always that one teacher who just like championed you.
Yeah.
He was that.
I had a Mr. Macaulay. Does that count?
No.
I had a Mr. Butterworth. Genuinely, his name was Butterworth.
Yeah, Butterworth.
Okay,
Oh, wow.
But yeah,
that's
back to Galinda.
Yeah, but
Back to Glenda.
So I mentioned how the school is very different. We never call teachers by their last names. We only call them by their first names.
Really?
I know,
That's
it's
where
so
it starts,
weird.
to be fair.
So that's why I'm calling her
Yeah.
Glenda, because I don't actually know her last name.
Wow.
We're all about to call them by their first name. So you see Seth, Matt.
Aw.
And the premise is to treat students and teachers' relationship to be equal.
I love that.
So there wasn't this hierarchy. They didn't believe in hierarchies. Interesting, right? Very alternative.
really
Did your
interesting.
school have...
Very hippie.
Yeah.
Very
Like,
hippie.
very-
A little hippie.
Yeah.
Hashtag
Yeah.
woke.
Was there ever kids that misbehaved?
They not really. It didn't happen that much often.
How
If you
could
did,
they give? Yeah,
That makes
yeah,
sense.
it
to
didn't
me,
happen
because
because
if there
you
isn't
don't
a hierarchy, I'm not gonna be bad, respectfully. Because like if
There
you respect
was-
me, I respect you.
the only kid that misbehaved, I remember, was we were dissecting a frog, and one kid took the heart of the frog and ate it. And that was like the most.
That's mental health.
Yeah, that was
That's mental
concerning.
health.
Send
That
him
is.
to Wednesday, bro.
And I remember that was like the crazy thing that would happen. Like, what is he doing? And he'd be like, I'm gonna try
The
it.
fact that that's your most like crazy story in
Yeah,
school. is
he
He's
was
a
wild
a
to me.
psychopath. I can't lie.
Yeah.
He's in a prison somewhere.
No,
Check on
yeah,
bros,
I-
yeah.
I-
We had an
genuinely
ambulance
hope-
at our school every like 2 days. So the fact that the only thing that was crazy was that is wild to me.
We had people that were like 40 that ran into the school with bricks.
yeah.
Oh, okay, well,
And it was a girl's school, so
Yeah.
what
Yeah,
am I
exactly.
doing?
So we didn't know why that happened.
that will change you.
That will change you.
you.
That's character
building. But yes.
Exactly. I mean, I love how everybody who goes to it's just character building.
No, it is.
No, fam, that's trauma. The whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
let's hold
maybe we
hands
should
for a
rethink
second.
this.
Let's hold hands for a second. You know what I mean? Because like, everything. It's not everything. It's not everything. It's not everyday character building.
Yeah,
Something is let's call the
honestly.
police. Let's call the police a little bit.
Let's report this
You know,
crime.
let's make sure that another kid doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So they're not all saying it's just character building. It's just a blanket to make you feel better about your
That really
situation.
is so true.
It's just a
Yeah,
blanket.
it's true.
But some people say some really things that I knew it was a blanket because one kid would be like, yeah, you know, I used to get beat up every day. I was like, but character would say, beat up? He goes, yeah,
You went through child abuse.
that's child.
No, it is child
But
abuse.
he
isn't
would
it?
say, oh, like beat up where? He said, it depends on the time. I said, brother, this is not character building.
Depends
You
on the-
genuinely
on the
went
level.
through something. He
Oh,
goes,
no.
he's like, oh, maybe that's why I stutter. I'm like, well, they were hitting you in the head. I say, yeah, this is child abuse. And
This
it was,
is child
but the blanket is,
abuse.
oh, it's just character development. I said, no, brother,
It's
not.
deeper. It's actually
It's really
But sometimes
deeper.
they're not ready to talk about it. So they need to
Yeah.
call it character development. And I
Yeah.
understand that. I understand it and I recognize it and I empathize with that. But not everything is character building.
Yeah,
Just,
yeah.
just so you guys know. Some things happen
know,
to
man,
you
let 'em
and you're
know.
allowed to say that was traumatic.
Yeah.
You know, not everything. That's not how you build character.
Unfortunately
Can we
not.
say it's not how you build
She has
character.
character.
I'm
She
so
grew up
sorry.
in
You know how you build
Man's
character? Building things. You know what I'm saying? Teamwork,
searching.
soul searching,
Soul searching, honestly.
traveling and learning. Well, like teamwork. I just want to know what person did that.
Yeah,
It made
okay,
it a whole
yeah. Trauma is character
character
building.
building.
Yeah.
I like the rebrand, but we gotta take it back.
It's a coping mechanism.
So back to
Absolutely.
Galinda.
Absolutely.
What did she do to champion you?
So Glenda
Glenda.
wasn't
Glenda.
Glenda. But she had this fire red hair. She was actually original librarian, but she
Okay.
also had a knack or interest for drama. So I remember my first day, grade 9, I was a wallflower. I have to really press this. Wallflower means I didn't talk. If I could blend into the background, I tried to.
No
Literally,
way.
I was really self-conscious, and I was afraid to speak up. I was afraid to be controversial or really make a scene.
Yeah.
If I breathe too heavy, it concerned me.
Oh.
Like that was just who I was. I became really a shell of a person. In middle school, I don't know, I experienced some xenophobia and that really impacted me and I just really didn't change.
Yeah.
And so when you start in your first year in high school, you're given 2 options. Either you do drama or you do band. You know, like the
Okay,
band
yeah.
class, you do band. I said, I remember I signed up for band because band, like, I blended with a bunch of people and my trumpet sounds weird. It's fine. There's like 8 other people I can blame it on. You know, I can blend in band. Drama, you got to stand out, baby. You're the main character. You know what I'm saying? You're meant to be a spotlight. You got to act. Let's go. I couldn't. That sounded like death. To me, like, subhanAllah, that was the worst thing that ever could happen to me was start drama class. That's just really what it was. I got in, I signed up early to band. Qadar, I don't know what happened. There was a glitch in the system. Turns out there's not room for band. And they told me this on the second day. And they said, hey, and back then they used to call me like my name is Adar, but it's spelled with a C. I was so
Cadar.
So I was so afraid to correct people. I let people call me Cadar.
Oh.
If they said Brittany, I would say, yep. Like I just do whatever I could to avoid it. But I remember this so fondly because a parent interview, my mom came and somebody kept saying, Cadar. She goes, it's not my daughter. Who's that?
Yeah, literally, who's that?
And I'm like, Mom, it's just me. It's me. Because why would you let them call you that? It's not the name I gave you.
Yeah.
I said, well, it just was easy for them.
Oh,
And so I was always just a person that just wanted to make things easy, never wanted to make a scene. And the worst, it was the second day of school, it was the worst day in grade 9. Imagine grade 9. Grade 9, you're just trying to survive. So let me get to the end of the day.
Yeah.
But the end of the day was already, the beginning of the day already was starting on a high. And I remember this guidance teacher said, sorry, girl, you're going to have to go to drama class. I said, I will not do it. I will not do it. I will die. Like I literally said, this will be the end of me. She goes, why? She goes, because I've always wanted to do band. Can't you tell I'm a musician? She she looked at me. She goes,
Can't you tell?
and she goes, why did you go to like special class? I said something like that. I'm Somali, so it was kind of like alternative.
Yeah.
And she looked at me. She goes,
You wouldn't know.
and she knew quite quickly I was lying. And she's like, oh, I'll see what I can do. Instead, she did the second worst thing you could do after shirk.
She has to correct.
The
Wait,
second worst thing.
This is a big
The
snitch,
second
yeah?
worst thing to do after shirk. Or actually, this is the third. So shirk,
What's
kicking your mom, and the third is snitching. Okay, she snitched on me.
She's a real Toronto thought.
She snitched on me because how you snitching on me? That could have been my 13th reason why. Like, why would you snitch?
Honestly, it could have been a 13th
It could have
reason
been.
why.
You don't
It
know
could
where,
have been.
and also you don't know where I came from.
What a snake,
I
exactly.
could have came from the tough side of the train track, and I did. The tough side. I was a lot going on.
Oh my God.
No, I'm absolutely being serious. It was the third crazy thing to do is snitching.
Yeah.
People die in Toronto to
No,
snitch.
it's true. People
It's
die
not a
every day.
joke. It's not a
People die
joke.
every day, B.
It's just bizarre. I'm like, who told you that was okay? Like, in what world? And so guess what she does? She goes upstairs. She tells Glenda that this new grade 9er, okay, wanted to skip out of her class. And she took that as a jab. She goes, my class? Everybody wants to be in my class.
Not me.
So she made me her personal project.
Oh.
Because she found it to be so offensive. She goes, me? My class?
She's taking
She wants to go to
my
band? That's not a serious
Everyone wants
place.
to die to be in my class.
Yeah.
Literally, like, she's thinking
And
like
so
that.
she said, absolutely not. What does she look like? And she goes, oh, she's like really awkward. Doesn't give you eye contact. Wears glasses, you know. And I didn't wear hijab, obviously. I wasn't close to God in any sense of the word back then. If I would, I think I'd cope better, right? That's why I wasn't coping, fam. I didn't have God in my life. I was stressing out on the max.
Yeah.
And so the guy teacher comes to, she goes, hey, for the first date, you're gonna have to go to drama class because you got to go somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I said, she's like, but don't worry, you won't have to do much on the first day. Excuse me?
They made you main character.
Guess what they did the first day?
What did they
Romeo
do?
and Juliet, and they made me Juliet.
No, that's the fourth worst thing to do on earth. Genuinely, that's like the fourth worst.
The list is getting
First of
longer.
all, this is Islamophobic.
No, it really is.
It's Islamophobic. This is
Juliet
Islamophobic.
is crazy.
But in her defense, I don't look Islamic. I don't got a single hijab.
I don't look Muslim.
I don't say Assalamu alaikum.
Yeah.
For all they knew, I came from some boondocks of Africa. Like, I don't know where they thought where I came
Yeah.
from. So for me, I didn't lead with my Islam. So even though I was like, this is anti-Islam. Like, I thought it was the worst thing that could happen to me. It was like, I'm gonna act out that I love a man. Like, what?
And I'm willing to die for him.
Literally.
Crazy.
Crazy scene.
That's
I'm
a
not gonna
crazy
lie.
ass
my
crime.
God,
That
no.
is, to me, that is a
At 14
crazy
years old.
ass.
Yeah, thanks though.
And so I remember we're sitting, and it was like a real drama studio, very like well budgeted. I can see why she's like, my classes gets the most funding, you know. And so we're in a dark, like there's like spotlights, everybody's sitting on the floor, and this was a mixed class, which is even more traumatic. So it was grade 9s, grade 10s. I'm in a class with people that are not my age, okay? So I'm sitting there cross-legged, trying to blend. I wish I was darker than the night sky. Like, I was like, I wish I could just disappear into this dark
just
area.
into the walls.
And
Literally.
then so I was sitting there, and she goes, today we're gonna act out Romeo and Juliet. Crazy thing to do on the first day. We just, I don't even know their name. Nobody knows each other's name at this point. But she did that because of me. I guess her understanding was, let me break this girl's shell. She is so like this. Let me pull her out of it. But what she didn't realize was that, like, that's not. I don't know if that's the smartest thing to do to someone who
character building.
experienced, not character building.
Opposites.
Trauma. This is trauma.
It's
Hold
like
your
exposure therapy, but
Yeah,
like
but,
you don't want it right now.
No, subhanAllah, I really respected it because it really changed my life since then. But she called out so basically she goes, we're going to do Romeo and Juliet. And she says, I'm going to pick you.
Kadar,
So
you're up.
you're up. And I remember sitting I was in the back. There's no one behind me. I did this. As if it's not my name.
Oh, Miskeen.
And she goes,
Who's
no,
Cadar?
no, you, sweetie. Come forward.
She knew what she was doing.
And I got up. I will never, I don't think I could hear or see anything.
Oh.
Not to be so dramatic. It was
spotlight
really
was on you.
traumatic for
No,
me.
I would be sweating.
I got up and I started naturally. I have a light speech impediment, which is funny because I'm a podcaster, but I have a speech impediment where I slur my words and I stutter. And so, and I was even more, like it was the case even more so because I was being called up randomly. So she says, read these lines. And I start stuttering. Oh my goodness. It was like, it was just, I don't know. I was getting dizzy. And then she told me, she's like, hey, she goes to her back. She goes, put this cork in your mouth and say the lines with the cork in your mouth. And I'm doing this in front of entire my classmates I don't know, grade 9s and 10s. And I felt really vulnerable in that situation. Instead of like saying, hey, you know, I don't want to do this anymore, I take the cork out of my mouth and I storm out. I said, I'm not doing this. I literally stormed out.
I choose
and
me,
you know what's crazy?
honestly.
I wish I walked. I remember because I asked my friend, what was it? She goes, you ran.
You ran.
It was really weird.
You don't
It's
remember
she goes,
running?
no, I don't remember running. I remember just walking. She goes, you ran. She was like, you even tripped. Like you were running like a jailbird. She's like,
You need to add that.
she said it was like a
You need to add that, I'm
jailbird.
not gonna lie.
To her, she was that was like I was like,
even
what?
tripped.
It was like you were being chased by something. I said, yeah,
God,
like my
Judy
worst
and
nightmare.
Nisha.
But and then soon after that, my drama teacher chases after me, finds me in a corner and says, what's going on? And I said, I just can't do that. She says, breathe for a second. Just breathe with me here. And then she puts her hands on my shoulders and she says, I don't understand. I know I just met you. But I can tell very quickly that you were never meant to be a side character, but you choose to be that even in your own movie.
Wow.
You know, she goes, why? It's your movie, yet you want to be the extras in the back.
She psychoanalyzed
But she goes,
you.
but yeah, it's quickly. And she's like, but I can tell in your nature, you're not meant to be that. It's not who you were meant to be. And I remember it was like, and the first time it was like, it wasn't that it was, I didn't know if it was true, but it was the first time I saw someone see me how I wish I wanted to be seen.
Yeah.
And she's saying, that's who you are. I can see it.
Be
But
seen
you-
to be loved,
yeah,
man.
and I felt really not ignored, but someone was probably looking at me saying, why are you doing this to yourself?
Yeah.
Be somebody. You can be, you are somebody. Why are you cowering? You know what I'm saying? And I went home, I thought about it a lot. I just remember thinking. And I came back and I told her, you know what? This is the scariest thing I've ever done, but I'm going to do it. She said, stick with me.
Oh.
She goes, by the end of this, you're not going to be the same person you started.
Wow.
I took 4 years, I took drama all 4 years of high school.
Wow.
And I graduated doing showcase. Matter of fact, when I went to university, I found God everything. This is fast forward, right? I found God, right? In my last class, I had to take one elective. In my last class of university, I had to graduate. Okay, they said you got two options: either do photography or you do drama. And I said, easy A, drama. I'm wearing a
W
jilbab.
Glenda,
I'm
man.
wearing a jilbab from head to top. Okay, here.
Oh my God, I love
And then I
that.
remember the teacher goes, "Oh, so you want to take photography? See, put me in drama."
Put me
She goes, "You don't know I'm an
into
actress." She goes,
Literally.
She thought I was crazy. She said, "Are you sure?"
Fuck it.
And then I took a class. Guys, that drama teacher until today she talks about me. She goes, she came here. You never think what she is. And she gave me. I remember we were doing. We're doing a scene. It's called improv. So I'm really good at improv. Like if it's a scene where everybody comes in and they have to make a scene, and you have to keep entering and extending the story. I'm really good at that. Okay, I can make a show. So every time someone enters the room, they got to change the narrative.
Okay.
And so I could easily turn anything to anything. And so on my first day of drama class in my university course, I'm a professional. I did drama all 4 years, and I did it with a person. Like that was part of my character development, and this is like my thing.
Yeah.
But obviously, when you see Jilbabi, you would never think she an actor.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I gave that off for the sake of Allah. Don't get it twisted.
No, honestly.
Jennifer Lawrence got nothing on me. Yeah, I'm saying Jennifer Lawrence got nothing on me.
No,
they have
100%.
jobs because I decided to opt out.
She said, you know what?
You know
I'll
what I'm
take a back seat. It's fine.
So I get out. So my drama class, she sees me act out. She was baffled. Even one Muslim guy goes, "This is so confusing." He says it because you're one way, which you do another. And I said, it's called being dynamic. Do you know how to be dynamic, brother? He goes, okay. I said, yeah.
Okay.
And I remember it was Ramadan Trivia, I was fasting. You know?
Wow.
Anyway, so I've always, I credit to Glenda a lot of my journey. Even though she wasn't, a Muslim or somebody that maybe shares some of the values I care about, she saw me in a human sense.
Yes.
And now I take that on. I make sure I see people. You know, when people might be struggling with something, what does it mean to empower someone? What does it mean to actually empower other women? How do you tell them, you're that girl?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you have to tell them because you don't know what you say back to them can do to them. This is why the Prophet ﷺ said there's a lot of forms of sadaqah. But people, the one form of sadaqah that people often forget is that the Prophet ﷺ said the best form of sadaqah is a good word.
Kindness.
But you don't know. Look at her, like what she said to me, what she empowered me.
your
The words
entire
changed my
life.
trajectory just by words.
That's so
That's
true.
so crazy.
And now I empower Muslim women.
No, literally,
Isn't that
by
crazy?
the way.
A non-Muslim
Full
woman
circle.
said something to me that allowed me to see myself like a mirror. She said something good to me. I planted a tree from that. A seed was planted. That became a tree, and now I'm spending my whole life trying to plant as many trees.
Wow.
Same
Do you
here.
ever feel like pressure to obviously guide so many women?
You know, I see. The thing is, I never see myself as a source of guider. Allah
Okay.
okay. guides.
Of
I
course.
like to see myself as more of a vehicle. I just want Allah to use me, however He sees fit. Because we all have things to give, and we have gifts to offer.
Yeah.
But how often are we using those gifts in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Not many.
Yeah.
And so if I'm a talker, I yap her. I can empower. I can make people. Was it you that said to me, she's a good motivational speaker? I am.
Yeah, no, you are.
I will gas you to. You'll run for senator next week. By the time I'm done with you, and you don't care nothing about politics. You know what I'm saying? I'm just really good at doing that. But that's because somebody spoke power to me, and now I enjoy doing it with other people.
Exactly. And I think maybe I think women can't help but see themselves in you. And even though you don't see yourself as the guide,
she sees it. Trust
guides.
He knows
A lot of women do see you in that light.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it's a great trait to have.
I appreciate it. Thank you
And
guys
may
so
Allah
much.
continue to give you
Jazakallah.
the platform
I
you
appreciate
have.
it. Thank you so
And
much.
Encourage women.
Yes.
I really, really want to like touch on the improv.
Yes.
Yeah.
Same.
I wanna just-
Honestly, improv.
We're just gonna keep changing the scene, and you're just gonna keep changing your character.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh my God, this is hard. Oh my
I'm
God,
gonna say
I'm ready
fun.
for that.
So
I'm
we're
not
gonna
ready for
start
that.
on, and then everyone just keep adding to the
Okay.
different scene. Yeah.
Okay.
So a Texan man.
I'm a what?
A Texan man
From Texas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Texas.
Do you know how to do accents?
Oh my God, I can't do the Texas accent. Oh my God,
Okay.
it's
What
really hard.
accent can you do? I'll help you there.
Wait, let me see if I can do.
You're a Valley girl.
I'm from
Okay, Valley
Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
I'm a Southern belle from Atlanta.
You got it.
You got it.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
okay.
Okay.
So you're a Texan man,
I'm a man. Okay, period. Okay.
and
You've got a truck
Oh.
and you're selling your eggs to another branch.
Another bunch of eggs.
Yeah.
okay,
So no
but
president-
No. She's got eggs at an egg farm.
Egg farm. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I got
you're
an
selling
egg
it
farm.
to another farm.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's trying to sell her eggs as the best eggs.
Yes.
Oh,
as
so
the
I'm
best
at a
eggs.
market.
Yeah,
actually just-
market.
yeah.
That's it.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna. We got the finest eggs here. Who wants to buy one? I got 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. You can get 10 in 10 minutes. Who's going to go first? 10, 9. I see you looking at me, Bobby. You want one?
The guy,
I know you want it.
behind you, he just said that he can do 8 in 10 minutes.
He can't do 8 minutes. That guy doesn't even sell eggs. He bought my eggs and selling on stage.
He sells 2 chickens with the eggs, actually.
Chickens?
Yeah.
Are they live? Because I have live ones right here. Because his are dead. And I heard they have E. coli. But you didn't hear from me.
Cold.
you're a Dawah bro giving a conference.
Oh, she was thinking that for a while.
Feminism.
Female.
Feminism. Sister, you cannot wear your jacket under your jilbab. It has to be over because I said so.
Yeah.
No proof,
What
no
about
delete.
the bag? Can I wear the bag?
Can I
But
wear
the
a
back,
backpack?
I can see your shoulder, sister, and you need to protect my chastity, so I
I'm
don't
going to
look at
school.
you. And I,
Oh, you meant to lower your gaze, though, brother.
But that's not the discussion here, sister.
Let's stay on
Sister.
topic.
No, you need to hear me. I'm a qawwam.
Oh my
I'm a qawwam. You need to listen to what I'm saying. You know,
SubhanAllah.
subhanAllah, Dawah bros.
Yeah.
Man,
The age that we live in.
I mean,
crazy,
you know,
man.
we never had a word to describe them before. You know, we never had
Yeah,
a
we
word.
never had a word. That's so
Obviously,
true.
that guys, those guys. We say that, right? Now we have,
Yeah.
and it's not every person that does Dawah, by the way. I think a lot of Dawah was like, oh, are they referring to me? It's like, no, it's a particular type.
Specific.
Yeah.
Like, you
That-
know when you're talking about.
his only favorite talk is about women and their hijab, and his favorite concern is about women in their life.
Yeah.
And he never asks an important question. You know, subhanAllah, when I always hear questions about hijab, I look at them every day. I'm like, you're talking about hijab. Women are not even praying.
There's actually
And I
There's
look,
bigger fish to
I look at
fry.
them every day. I'm like, you keep talking about this
Hijab,
exterior.
hijab.
What about inside?
And also, what about a man's hijab as well? Like,
Oh,
men
by the
also
way,
have hijab.
you know, it's so crazy. I heard a funny story from a friend. She was telling me how one time, one of her friends took the brothers out to kayaking.
Ooh,
It's like the masjid took the brothers out to kayaking.
Yeah.
And he was just recording, like, wow, look, the brothers are kayaking. All the orders were outside.
Oh my goodness.
So what I mean is their
their
pants were
knees.
above
Yeah.
their knees. So you saw their like upper, and he didn't realize because men are not taught to look at each other like, where's your hijab?
Yeah, that's so
They're
true.
often often is in the back of their mind because that's unconsciously that's the hijab's only for women. And I remember I saw it. I said, they're naked. And I wanted to dramatize it so much. I literally for no. I had no reason. I could just say, brother, mashallah, but these brothers are, they're not wearing. They're naked. Subhanallah. Subhanallah. We don't nearly shame back enough, fam.
We don't shame back
every day
enough,
we're
honestly.
demure, and every day they shame us, and with
Literally.
pitchforks and fight. Like, you know what I'm saying? But maybe that's not the answer. But it just makes me feel good saying naked. Oh my God, my eyes. Subhanallah. How am I supposed to lower my gaze?
Honestly.
It's the exact same concept.
It's the
the
same
same
thing.
thing.
Men
How
have
am I
hijab.
Yeah,
We should
what
talk
am I
about
looking
it.
at?
Like,
You guys should have decorum.
Literally, now I can't even
So
actually look
valid.
down because you're in the same boat as me
Yeah.
now.
exactly.
I have to-
Literal boat.
I'm doing this.
Kind of.
Yeah.
But you know, may also to guide us and keep us on a straight path. I think we're, you know, we're all.
Yeah, sorry.
No, go ahead, love.
Women don't really look at other people, whereas men just stare at us. And like,
and we also see the best in people as well. Like we always see the best in others.
A more compassionate lens.
Yeah, we're more compassionate.
More compassionate. Because we all know we start from somewhere.
Exactly.
We all have to start from somewhere. But I think over policing women before they're like ready to be there, it doesn't help us move the total pole here.
It's so true.
You know, allow people to love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allow them to undo what they were. A lot of people, forget about women, men and women were learned about Allah from a harsh way.
Exactly.
From a very punishable, fear-based perspective. They're not being who they need to be, not because they don't want to. It's because they're undoing a lot of trauma. But you don't have enough like a sense to ask questions first.
Exactly.
You know, I understand there's general advice. Do the general advice, right? Do the general advice generally, but only specifically talking about hijab a lot, and that's all we're seeing on our thing. That's the only thing that goes viral. That's the only it comes off disproportionate. It does. It does come and it feels more like attack than it does nasiha. But that's just my opinion.
True. I think we need to reframe the whole conversation around hijab. Let's reframe it to how Allah is even perceived to begin with. Like, what's your relationship with Allah? How many of you can name the 10 names of Allah? Just 10. There's 99, but just name 10.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? The relationship we have with Allah is just not, he's not the Punisher, the most merciful. It's the most merciful. Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. Like, Malik al-Mulk. So,
speaking of, I wanted to ask, what was your journey with Islam? Like, what was you know how Galinda was the moment of like, I championed myself.
Yeah.
So what was the moment for Islam?
She helped me figure out what my negative self-talk was and how to reframe it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until I had graduated high school. I'm not yet practicing. Like that's not. I'm just trying to be a person that is okay with making a scene and letting people see my personality and just being a normal human being, because I wasn't one before that. I had got into a top university in Canada and I got early admissions. My parents are super proud. My parents are very proud. Wow. And because I got early admissions, my mom says, you know what? I'm going to take you on your first plane ride to across the country.
Okay.
Shout out to my mom. She took me to London, England. So the first international trip I've ever done was here. And I got to meet so much of my family, so much of just everything. It was just so interesting to be outside of Canada. Like I've been to the US, I've traveled, I have family. I only drove road trips, but internationally now I've never been. And so my mom has, you know, mashallah, she's a very talented person. She's traveled all over the world. So taking me with her was really fun. I remember I went to Savannah, the restaurant. I remember back then, it was like, we're talking about 2000.
Oh, this is old
2011.
Wow. Savannah's long lasting.
2011 girl, was in the UK, have a good time.
Oh my god!
And back then, I remember I was staying in my aunt's house, but all her daughters were hijab. So they looked at me and said, "Here's your hijab." It was like, I was like,
just
what am I gonna wear this? And it was like kind of like, well, this is how we do things, and you know. And I was more than happy to respect it, but I just didn't wear hijab. And it wasn't until, and I remember I was here for a month, and I was supposed to go to Italy right after. The fun was supposed to continue. But then Ramadan came in and mom goes, you know what? I'm canceling that trip. We're going somewhere else. I looked at mom and said, where are we going? I want to go to Italy. I need to go to
Rome.
I need to see Venice. You know, like I need to be in Florence. Literally. What are you talking about? And she said, no, you need God. I said, so where are we going? We're going to Islam in her own way. And you know what? It looked like Islam at the time.
Where we going,
Girl, I went to, it's funny, I went to Dubai, but 2011 is different Dubai.
Yeah,
it was mostly
different.
desert at the time and very traditional, very conservative.
Okay.
Meaning even at the time when you were fasting, you were not allowed to eat public.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was like you would get fined. So that's how old it was. Dubai was very different back then. It was more like Saudi. It would give us Saudi vibe. Everyone wore jilbab, niqab. It was very traditional at the time.
Wow.
They were just building their infrastructure out and their culture. And so I went there and I was like, and my mom was scared. Oh my God, mom was so funny. So we went on the plane. Obviously, it's not illegal to wear hijab in the UAE. Not to wear it.
Oh, to not wear it.
So on the plane, mom was telling me, if you land without a hijab, you're gonna get arrested. I said, let me tight this hijab.
It's up right now.
I had it pinned so tight. I remember I got hurt here, and I was like, oh, this is a little harsh. She goes, you better tight it harder. I said, okay. I was so scared. Mama punked me. I don't know what she trolled. Her troll worked. I landed with the abaya. I changed it to the bathroom. And I was like, I barely spoke. I was scared to talk. I was so... My mom, oh my God, my mom is so funny. Because she thought, let me immerse this girl into Muslims in a way that she's never have. So I went there and my aunt, mashallah, I saw a Muslim life that, like, a culture I'd never seen before, in the sense that my aunt was living lavish. She had a nice high-rise condo. She had housekeepers. I'd never seen housekeepers before. You know, I've never seen that
to this
before.
life.
You know what I mean? Like,
Literally
this is
used to it. It's not
different.
true to
I've
this.
never, what do you mean she gonna fold my clothes? So I remember it's funny because I used to fight her, don't touch my clothes. She and I would be doing
You
this.
used to
I'd
be
be
the
like,
housekeeper.
and I felt so guilty. Why are you doing this? And when she'd be mopping, I'd be mopping. Because why is she mopping? And my ex was like, I pay her. I said, do you pay her well? I don't know. You do. And she was so miskin. And so just because it felt, even my mom was uncomfortable. So whenever she'd mom, I goes, do something. Like, you know,
just watch her
I'd be
clean.
doing something. It
Literally.
just felt weird for somebody else to be. So it's just how we grew up. And I remember I got to know her name was Amina. She was Ethiopian. She was 19 years old. She was around the same age I was. She was the same age as me. So I looked at her, I was like, oh, we're going to be friends. And I didn't know anybody my own age. So my mom would constantly go to this place called Suq al-Dahab, like this area where moms hang out. At the time, it was even booming back then. I found it so boring. I said, every week we just go store.
Yeah.
I'm staying home. And one day I stayed home. It's Ramadan, by the way, we're fasting. But again, I was just like the Muslim that fasts doesn't pray. May also forgive me. That's just kind of the culture I was in at the time. That's the kind of mindset I was in. And Amina comes to my room one day, the housekeeper. She said, "Hey, I'm going to," and she speaks in Arabic, so she brought my cousin Liban, who's like 10 at the time, translate. And she goes, "Oh, tell her that I'm going to the masjid. She can join me." So I went with her. And she went to a mosque that was, and I remember I was so excited to go to a mosque because I thought it was a mosque I kept seeing on the street. The mosque looked like something else. I said, what, that's a party, I gotta go to that party. Like, it looked lit from the outside. They look like palaces, you know? So I'm thinking, we're going there. Oh my God, I get to go inside the mosque. And I hadn't been inside a mosque properly since then.
You had a vision of like what
Girl,
it would be like.
I didn't know what I was going to because I never really been in a mosque. I thought mosques were only for janazas and like for men. I didn't really know people go there. So when she said we're going, I wore my freshest abaya. You know, I was so excited. She took me somewhere else. She took me to like a rundown mosque that mostly migrant workers went to. Because she's a worker.
She's obviously a worker, yeah.
And she would give out dates outside of the steps. So she'd be like, hey, we didn't talk. She'd be like, she just handed it to me and I just do what she was doing.
Oh, bless.
So I was just handing out dates and I just saw so many people that looked, I was like, whoa, this is a different side of Dubai I've never seen before. And it started making me raise questions like, why are they living like this? You know, I'm seeing all this beautiful life, and then there's some really dark side to this lavishness, and I would just see people in different conditions. Like, to where I get concerned, do you have a place to stay? Like, I was getting concerned by people I was coming across. I'm giving dates, and they were so really kind. And then I would join the tarawih, and obviously I'm joining the tarawih. I'm praying next to her, and then I hear a man. So the man was reciting the Quran. And then he repeats a verse, and he was repeating his verse. I don't know what the verse is saying. And I hear a man wailing, crying his eyes out, like literally to the point where I was like, "Can we all stop praying? I think someone's hurt, like someone's injured." That's how much he was wailing. It was so alarming, and I could not concentrate. I kept thinking, "Who is this man that's crying? He's crying. He cried through the whole thing." And when I was done, I looked. I said, "Like why?" Like I was asking, "Why is he?" And she said. She kept doing this, like she was pointing at her heart. And I was like, what is she saying? I don't know what you're saying. And then we just get up, we leave. And I'm standing out on the steps outside the masjid. She's getting her shoes. And I see this man in a light blue thobe, all white. He's wearing, his hair is white, everything's white. He's old. And you could tell it was him that was crying because his face was red. So I was like, it's him. And he was so old. And I said, what does he have to cry about like that? I kept thinking, why is he crying? He's old. Why is he in this desperation, sadness? Is this sadness? What is this? Guys, I could not stop thinking about it. I went home thinking. Fakir. Like I kept thinking about him and that situation. To the point where I remember my mom even saying to me, what are you thinking? I remember sitting on the couch. I'm not watching TV. I'm looking up like this. I'm just looking away. And mom goes, what are you thinking about? I said nothing because I didn't know how to explain to him what I was thinking about. I just kept asking, why was he crying?
It's hard to explain.
I couldn't explain it, but it moved me. But I didn't understand why, and I couldn't stop thinking. One day, I go to my room because I was tired of my mom looking at me like, is this girl, is she okay? So I went into my room, and a few hours later, Amina comes into my room, and she brings my cousin, and she says to him, in Arabic, and he says to me, she said, pray 2 rak'at, ask Allah to guide you. He will.
Oh my God, that gave me goosebumps.
I looked at her, I said, why she talk about God? Allah's God. I'm confused.
Wow.
Okay? She said, and then I asked my cousin, I said, what does she mean by that? And he's like, he's a little kid.
Because he's like 10.
And he says in Arabic, and she says to him, you're thinking, but the thinking can be real. Ask Allah to guide you, He will. If you ask Allah, I don't know, she's saying, just pray 2 units, and Allah will guide you. And I said to her in response in English, I don't know how to pray. I don't know how many rak'ats are in a unit. I just didn't know. She said, she's like trying to explain to me. She started doing the action. 1. And she's doing 2. That's it. Abadan. Like that's all you need to do. And then my cousin says to me, she says, do this before Fajr. So before you hear the adhan of the morning prayer.
Okay.
She said, do that. So I remember my mom, they all like, hey guys, we're going to go Saudi. Come on. I said, no, I'm going to stay home tonight. And I haven't even left. So I was home alone. So I was home alone. It was the middle of the night. And you know, subhanAllah, now when I look back, I can tell it was the last 10 nights. Because a few days later I left. It was Eid. So it was the last 10 nights that I just didn't know at the time.
Yeah.
The last 10 nights, I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. So I go, I put on a hijab and abaya. I pray right next to my aunt's bed. And I pray 2 units of prayer. I knew the 3 qawls, I knew Fatiha, but I just didn't know the tahshud. So I would try to like memorize, like I tried to memorize the tahshud and do as best as I could. And when I was done, I sat on my prayer and I just started crying. And it was interesting because I didn't know what I was crying about, but I felt the need to cry. And I remember I spoke to Allah SWT like I'm speaking to you now. Ya Allah, I know you exist. I know you exist and I know I believe you, but I don't have any Muslim friends. I don't know where to begin. I'll go back to Canada. Where am I going to start? But I feel drawn to learn more, but I don't know why. And it was just like how you talk to a human being, like just really I wasn't doing the dua etiquette. I don't know anything. This is why I always say to people, I was 19 years old. 19 years old. You know, subhanAllah, Allah sometimes meets you where you are. I think oftentimes we can bombard people with so much information. It's good. You should educate them. But also let people arrive where they need to. Allah sometimes still understands us. Allah sometimes understands where we're at. And I spoke to Allah SWT with the little knowledge that I knew. And that was sufficient.
You just made the step towards him.
I believe that was the first dua I consciously made. And that's the first dua I can put what Allah accepted. Because when I came back to Canada, I started university. I took off my hijab. 2 weeks later, I met these girls from my university who were not regular hijabis. They were hijabis or going to school, but were also like very God conscious. And they were Somali, so I found it really interesting because I've met Somalis for the first time. I'm like, wow, Somali girls, let me be your friend. And I remember because I'm still friends with them now. They would say, I remember you then. Nobody remembers you then. All that big curly hair and like, you know. And she goes, you always wanted to pray with us, and you did. And then one day I put on the hijab. A week after that, I wore a skirt, and then 2 months later, I was wearing abaya. And then then it was very fast, and it was just like, to the point where people said, "Yo, slow down." I remember my dad asked me, "Do you know Al Qaeda?" He said,
"You know Al Qaeda?"
He said, "Give me your passport." No, right at the time, people were doing things. People were doing things they shouldn't have back then. My dad got nervous and said, "Give me your passport," because he just saw me transforming so
really fast.
He got scared. He was like, "My daughter was," but I was so happy. The first day I wore hijab, he cried. He said, "Subhanallah," and he cried because he's like, "I always worried about this part of your life, and then I failed you." So he was always so worried that I didn't have the relationship with God that I needed to. And he was so, because he was big on academics. I mean, I got top university. You know, he was so big on that. He's like, I feel like I didn't concentrate enough on your religion. And I look at you every day and I think I failed you. But to see you one day calm down with hijab, he goes, I was shook.
Of course.
I was shook. And then I told my wife, it worked. It worked. Good. You know, so my mom was thinking, Allah, that was the best thing I ever did.
I love that.
My mom was like, that was me. I did something right. Because I came back and I just was transforming. I was changing so fast. But Allah SWT was allowing me to meet people that I was deeply inspired by. But I wasn't coming across regular people. I was coming across people that were kind and gentle and funny. And I saw duality. Like they were so interesting because they all had different, they were not afraid to tell me their true story, where they came from. I was like, oh my God, me too. Like some people had rougher backgrounds. Some people came from rougher backgrounds. And I was like, they were sitting in the salon with me. Yeah, this is where I came from. Like, this is what happened. Alhamdulillah, I'm here. I was so touched by that. I was so deeply impacted by that it helped me move the needle forward. And when you look at if you look at the Digital Story podcast, it's all about people who were lost and Allah guided them. I always say, what does lost guided look like? Everyone's like, oh, tell your story. Fam, Allah says in the Quran, I found you lost. What do you think lost looks like? Be real. What does lost look like?
It's not expecting perfection.
Why do we know about the prostitute woman who, what is it?
Made it to Jannah.
That gave, water to a dog.
To a dog, was it a cat?
A cat.
She gave milk to a cat.
And she was admitted to Jannah. Why do we know she's a prostitute? Why do we know that? Because she was one. And it wasn't shame. It's a job. You know what I mean? It's not a thing that we encourage people to do. But we knew that fact about her. We knew, what are they trying to explain to us? About her past, picture. What she was doing, and when she ended up.
It's a
process.
Despite being a sinner.
Did we tell her if it was shame around where we came from, then why are there certain things we know about certain companions and what their past before they were jahiliyyah? It's to be at awe about Allah's guidance. And say, wow, look at Allah SWT guided. Look where Allah SWT will go to guide you. He will find you at the bottom of the well. Allah will find you at the bottom of the well. He will find you at the depths of whatever. You know,
belly of the
no
whale,
one is too far
literally.
for Allah's guidance.
Yeah.
No one is.
At all.
And every time I cast a story, I'm looking for the darkness. I'm trying to find darker.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I interviewed a woman that used to do witchcraft. That's the darkest I could get.
Oh my God.
You know,
way.
you know,
Guys,
and
that
I'll-
episode is crazy.
Yeah.
And didn't you have to refilm it like 3 times?
Oh my God, our
Stop
audio
it.
cracked
I
down.
had
To the point my mom
watched this
said,
one.
record this outside the house.
Yeah, I
We
remember
want the
this.
peace here.
The lights were going
Yeah,
off.
lights were going on. Our audio went. Audio is never gone. 6 hours gone.
Oh my
We had to record her
goodness.
2 times.
That's
And to the point where my producer's like, yeah. The Jins are not happy about this.
Yeah, the
they're
Jins are
not,
not
they're
happy
not,
about
ha-
this.
they're not happy about what she's trying to draw. You know what I'm saying? And so my approach to her wasn't like, I told her, I was like, I want you to say what you were, what you were doing, so you could show people where Allah sometimes is willing to find
Yeah,
people.
when he's willing to find
Tell
you.
people He will find you. He will guide you.
Yeah.
Wallahi, when I look at people who are far from Allah, you ask them, why haven't you? I know you want to be close to Allah. Why? Because I don't think Allah will forgive me.
That's shaitan.
And I'm
honestly
shocked every
shaitan,
time I hear that. I'm
yeah.
like, do you not know who Allah is? Don't piss me
Most
off.
merciful,
Yeah.
literally.
But people know it. People don't know
Yeah,
it.
they don't know
feel
it.
shame.
inside
They
their
don't
hearts.
know it.
Yeah.
Sometimes they need to hear a story.
Yeah.
And man, every day I'm looking for the darkness. I'm trying to find someone in a you think it's in a gutter, and I want just to praise Allah SWT to show you what Allah SWT is capable of, how kind He is. Maybe it's not enough for me to say He's Ar-Rahman. Let me show you
Exactly how
He's
he is.
Ar-Rahman.
Yeah.
Maybe you need to hear it. You need to hear it, and I'll tell you to as best as I can.
Yeah.
And that is because those stories, that perspective is what I got in my early 20s. Those are the women I heard. All of season 1 is Toronto girls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were girls, literally, I saw the boss.
Live
Wow.
They were the first one I saw.
Wow.
To the point where I used to cast like, yo, wallah, your story is crazy.
Literally.
I need that one.
To the point where I used to jot down, I was like, wow, wallah. Until I felt sad, but I remember this story though. You know?
Yeah.
And I used to hold them on so tight.
No,
You know,
stories,
subhanAllah, people always ask me, oh, why storytelling? Well, subhanAllah, the Quran is full of stories.
That's so true.
Stories is how we understand
exactly
the
how
message.
you're living.
Naam, stories is how we hold on to, how we hold on to the book of Allah SWT, how we hold on to the rope of Allah SWT. It's stories. Tell stories and tell them. Allah SWT found you lost and guided you.
It makes it like humane. Do you know what I mean? It brings it like
Naam.
that
You know,
brings it to the
subhanAllah,
level.
inner narrative is powerful. You know, the stories we tell ourselves. Allah doesn't like us. Allah is abandoned me. Allah, subhanAllah, inner narrative is so powerful that it cultivates our reality and experience.
Yes.
The podcast stories are meant to counter inner narrative. The story you're telling yourself, I'm telling you to tell a new story.
Another
fam.
one.
That's a fake one.
Another one.
Let me
Yeah.
tell you, that's a fake one.
That's your
And, you know,
brain.
subhanAllah, and I reflect on all the time. How many times has Allah SWT changed public narrative, for example? Like in Surah Duha, my favorite surahs ever. Allah SWT says, "A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Ma wada'aka rabbuka wa ma qala." I have, O Prophet, I have not forgotten you, nor have I forsaken you. Right? It's because people around him were saying, yo, look at him. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. He hasn't had a revelation. His God has forsaken him.
To the point
And
where
he was
doubted
sad.
himself.
He doubted. He was so sad. Everybody
Mm-hmm.
was saying, "Yo, look at this loser." He was so sad. To the point he kept saying, "Did I do something?
Yeah.
Is Allah
Allah
angry
forget-
with me?"
yes.
Yeah.
It started to what outside was affecting his inside, and then Allah SWT says so powerfully, "Oh Prophet, I have not forgotten you. I'm not forsaking you." That's for everybody to hear that.
Yeah.
And then my favorite verse is the last verse. Where Allah says, وَأَمَّا بِنِعْمَةِ رَبِّكَ فَحَدِيث. Proclaim the blessings of your Lord. Proclaim. What blessings are we talking about? The pink Lamborghini you got? No, I don't think so.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely not.
It's what Allah did for you.
Yeah.
How Allah got you from the depths of that darkness and pulled you out. Tell them how Allah said.
Literally
because
tell
the best
stories,
the
it's
best
true.
blessing is what? Hidayah.
Guidance.
It's
Yeah,
guidance. Tell them what He did.
Yes.
Don't tell them the punishment is important. It's critical. You know,
Yes.
some people, we need
The
to know, girl,
trial.
where we.
Yeah, we need to know where
Hello?
we'll end up if you don't fix up.
Everybody gotta know. The alternative path ain't too Gucci. Some people, what did Muhammad Ali said? Some people gotta touch the stove to know it's hot.
Yeah.
Some people gotta touch the stove to know it's hot. I don't need to touch the stove. I always knew it's hot. Never
Exactly.
touched it, never burned it.
And you know what? Some people being aware of the punishment is enough to wake them up.
It's
But
true.
for a lot of people, it's not enough.
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
I think that's how our parents grew up.
Yeah.
Our parents grew up with a lot of that, and that was insufficient for us. But we are in the ummah of the mental health crisis. We need to hear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's rahmah.
Yeah, we do.
We
We
need to
the
hear
compassion.
rahmah.
Yeah.
We're already
The
critical and
mercy.
down bad.
Yeah.
It's
We've been beaten up.
consumption era.
We've been beaten up. They weren't beating us nearly as we're beaten up.
Yeah,
We
we're
need
quite
to hear.
soft,
We need to be
so
taught with
need
love.
to be
We
taught,
need
yeah,
to
with
tell
love.
people Allah found Yusuf in that well and He pulled him
Exactly,
out.
and pulled him out. That's so
Listen
true.
to me. Listen to these stories. Reflect on them. Allah SWT is showing up every time in these stories. And then look at these stories. All these girls I've told, 80 stories. The podcast team and I have told 80 stories of different ways Allah SWT has guided them.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't he guide you? Why wouldn't he help you?
Literally.
And that's just 80.
That's just 80. And I'm still looking for the darkest
the
one. I'm
whole
still
Ummah.
looking.
Imagine thousands more. It's true.
I'm just gutting this.
Submit your story today.
Today.
100%. And I just, the intent is I want to say something khair.
Yes.
I just want to empower the sisters to know that they're not forgotten.
Of course.
Allah is not angry with them. Allah SWT will forgive you if you ask for forgiveness. Allah is there. He is closer to you than your jugular vein.
Literally.
And he
Take the
loves
step
you
and he
more
will
than your
come
mother
running.
70 times.
No,
Honestly.
no,
Honestly.
absolutely.
What I wanted to do now, guys, is I wanted to do a Ramadan quiz. Since when it's come back to Ramadan. So I've got the questions here. We're going to do that before we lock off. Okay. So this is going to be multiple choice Ramadan questions. So the first question is,
Wait, do we have buzzers?
oh, what's your buzzers, guys? Okay, so it does all the same.
Rough.
Did you rough?
What's
Okay.
your thing?
Yeah.
Beep, I'm beep.
Beep. What's yours? Rough. What's yours?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. The first question is, why do we fast? Is it A, to lose weight?
Stuff.
B, to gain taqwa? C, sympathy with the world's poor? Or D, personal satisfaction?
Beep.
Oh my God.
Go on.
Always be.
Which is?
Taqwa.
Taqwa.
Saki
Well
tak.
done, girl. Well
Like,
done, girl.
yeah, I don't think yeah is fast enough.
Okay, number 2. What is the meaning of the Arabic word Ramadan?
Oh,
Rough.
Ref, go on.
Wait,
it's
it's
too.
not.
Oh my God.
Okay, do
Subhanallah.
you know what? I'll actually give more choice this time. Is it A, abstinence, B, worship, C, scorching heat, or D, hunger?
Well, I think it's
I wanna
abstinence.
say
Abstinence. I agree.
Yeah, I want to
Abstinence.
say abstinence as well.
Okay, are you all in agreement?
I think
Absolutely.
abstinence.
That is actually
Incorrect.
wrong. Incorrect.
What
it
is
actually is scorching heat, guys.
Scorching heat.
So,
means scorching heat.
Yep, it's
You know
derived
something?
from the Arabic word ramida or aramad, which means intense scorching heat.
Interesting.
That's interesting. I wonder why.
All right. Literally, yeah. Oh, it actually says why here. Ramadan was named such because it burns the sins of the believers. Just like the blazing
Allahu
sun
Akbar.
evaporates water from the surface of the
Mashallah, I
ground.
love
See
that.
that
Ramadan
play on
burns
word?
away one sin.
I love that. I
do
love that.
that.
The more you know, guys.
The man is powerful.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay.
Inshallah.
What happens on the first night of Ramadan?
We fast.
We fast. That too. Okay. A, devils are chained. B, the gates of hell are closed. C, the gates of paradise are opened. Or D, all of the above.
All the above.
Look at you guys. You guys are good. You guys are good. Approximately how many people are fasting worldwide during Ramadan?
Oh my goodness. Ooh.
Okay,
Worldwide?
Worldwide.
even measured?
Give you multiple choice.
Okay, wait.
Wait, can I guess actually?
Yeah, go on, guess.
I feel like there's 2 billion Muslims in the world.
I was gonna say that, yeah, but
Or like
how many are
2.5.
fasting?
But how many are
though?
fasting,
They're getting
though?
pregnant, the children,
the children, the
elderly.
old.
Okay,
That's a
let's say
really good
1.5.
one.
Right?
Half.
1.5 what?
I'm going to say.
No, 1.
I'm going to say, yeah, I was going to say 900 million.
Okay.
I'm going to
Aisha?
say 1 billion.
Okay, Aisha.
I'm gonna say 1.2.
Oh, the closest is Aisha.
Yay.
1.5 billion.
Okay,
you said it.
period.
You said it.
That's
Wow.
crazy.
It's crazy.
1.5 billion. We're powerful.
Mashallah.
Exactly.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
And we get finished the most.
Right?
Bismillah.
Okay, what is the reward for fasting?
What's
All of the above.
Okay, did you know what? I'll give you a clue. How many good deeds?
Oh, how many good?
hard,
Is it a metric?
I swear we don't
Is
know.
that measurable?
Yeah.
It's a metric, right? It's like,
As in like a number?
yeah. No, it's not. Is it a metric? Wait, what's the question again?
Okay, so what is the reward for fasting? Do you know what? I'll give you guys a multiple
These
choice.
are interesting.
Is it A, 1 good deed, B, 10 good deeds, C, 700 good deeds, or D, more than 700?
More than.
For fasting.
Yeah.
I
More
don't know.
than.
I feel like we don't know.
I was gonna say the unpopular opinion is that we don't know the metric of
Yeah.
fasting. Allah,
I mean,
it's
last
for,
10 nights
because it's for
alone.
only Allah.
Yeah,
Fasting
that's
is for Allah
true.
and only Him.
Okay.
knows.
Yeah,
That's
no.
hard. That's actually a good one, but
The answer is more than 700, yes. So you can't
Subhanallah.
really...
so
don't
the
measure
answer's
it.
correct that we don't know.
You don't know,
We
yeah.
But
Definitely.
definitely
It is
it's
more
right.
than
But when you're being
700.
optimistic, saying it could be 10, it could be 700 or more.
Literally.
It could be anything.
It could be anything.
Yeah.
Subhanallah.
That's so true. Okay. Ooh, this one's quite funny. What should we increase in Ramadan?
Calories.
Taqwa.
A, watching TV. B,
Dawah.
eating. C, worship. Or D, playing games. I feel like playing games.
Oh my God.
Playing games makes sense.
Technically, all of the above. No.
No, C,
C,
worship,
worship.
of course. Ooh, this one's really interesting, and I'll make it the last one, actually. How did the Ottomans announce the beginning of Ramadan in Jerusalem? A, newspapers. B, firing a cannon. C, fireworks. Or D, a gun salute.
Probably a
Ooh,
gun.
I feel like it's the fire, the cannon boom.
Okay.
I feel like they were into that.
What about you guys?
You know what? Qatar did that.
They did it in
last year.
Ramadan.
Actually, to announce. Yeah, they did the cannon thing.
Yeah,
Why
to
do I feel like it's
announce
that?
Do you?
Gun?
Was gun an option?
Yeah, it was an option.
Oh.
And it's actually, you guys are right.
Yeah.
Cannon.
I remember we're into that industrial.
Literally.
They're really into that.
Territory.
No,
Yeah.
literally.
I love those questions. I really, really enjoyed this
I
episode.
really love this
I
episode, by
hope
the way.
so. I
Thank
hope
you
so.
so
And it
much
just
for
went by
being
so
here.
fast. Which I'm really sad about.
It did went by
Yes,
really, but I'm
it's
really,
super.
really, I was really happy to come. Alhamdulillah, I just want to tell you girls, you know, I love the good that you guys are doing, especially with this podcast.
Oh, thank
and
you so
reminding Allah
much.
subhanahu wa ta'ala, the people of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I think it's important. I think we need to see more women doing this. So I'm really proud of you guys.
Oh,
And I want you guys to keep going because it's important.
you.
That means
know?
a lot coming from you.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't
Yeah.
even get to
Yeah.
ask
Yeah.
90% of the questions that are
Yeah.
asked.
I know,
But we
I
can
know.
ask that off camera.
We
You
can
know
ask
what?
that.
I'll come back many times, girl.
Yeah,
You
I
can
love
come
that.
back.
Also,
You know?
guys, side note, just gonna add a few clips here and there because it's gonna come out after. But we actually went to London and Birmingham show with them.
With
So
We
this
did.
is-
We did, yes.
And I'll see you guys this Friday in your ears, in your speakers, telling you a good story.
That was a great success from them. They sold out over 1,000 tickets in over an hour. In
Alhamdulillah.
less than an
Yeah.
hour, sorry.
Oh, how bad
Yeah.
it is.
Oh, my bad.
And I mean, honestly,
The power of
it is,
community.
alhamdulillah, the power of community.
It
And I'm
is.
so happy that we get to do it together.
Yeah,
How often do we get to
same.
see female
So fun.
podcasters
Right?
together?
That's so true.
Together.
When do you see
From
that?
across the globe as well.
Exactly,
like-
period.
When two worlds collide.
Well, you know, TDS is international, but all of us coming together is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wallahi.
That's so
Honestly.
exciting.
Many more, inshallah.
So happy to
Inshallah,
have you.
inshallah. No, it's been really, really fun. And thank you for all the work that you've been doing. Because I feel like
Yes.
we've all, like, I feel like you're the blueprint. I feel
Oh,
like,
get
you know,
out of
you're
here.
genuinely-
No,
you're
I'm
genuinely
not
the-
the
you're
blueprint.
actually the
Stop
blueprint.
calling.
Like,
Literally,
flowers away.
May Allah accept it from all of us. I don't know about being a
Ameen,
blueprint.
ameen.
You know, we're all
No,
just doing our part.
100% for storytelling and that whole you've
I
definitely
appreciate
changed
it.
the game in podcast for storytelling when it comes to Islam and like champion
Yeah.
people's stories.
Yeah.
What you said earlier of, you know, being lost guided you and this is
Yeah.
your story.
Yeah, I
Community
feel
is
like
so
you
important.
really understood how people learn things as well.
Yeah.
And you've kind of like put that in your storytelling. So honestly, thank you so much
No,
for that. 'Cause,
subhanAllah.
like, I feel like I've learned a lot from you as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really happy. You know, I remember when I found out you guys listened, you guys shared it. I was like, oh my God, they listened to the podcast. You know,
Listen,
until
listen.
today, I still get surprised because you have to remember, I tell the stories from my room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yes, of
to me,
course.
it's like it's a lot different to my
Yeah.
day to day than it does in reality. And I get so surprised every time they listen. And I just, you know, I want people to know that the podcast is just an amplification of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to show you what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is and all the ways that He guides us and all the ways that He helps us. I just think women just need to hear it more. And brothers, I don't know why brothers
100%.
don't. There are brothers that 17% of brothers listen to the podcast.
Really?
So they're doing
Wow,
it
I
underground.
love that.
There's a lot of brothers that listen underground. And mashallah, we have a lot of brothers that are supporters of it.
Mashallah.
But it's for everyone to know and to listen to hear. And I'm grateful that I got to be a part of it. I don't know. Honestly, it's Allah plans, man.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
I was a regular
Okay.
Toronto girl, you know what I'm saying? During COVID,
Honestly.
just doing me, telling stories. I thought, what? You know how crazy it was when the podcast took off? It took off on a random Tuesday, okay? And I
Stop
didn't have
it.
no social media following. Girl, I barely know how to use Instagram.
Yeah.
But I definitely could tell a good story. You get me? And I told my best friend's story and it went viral. I remember, and my friend, imagine,
Wow.
you know how I got her on the podcast? Yo, we're gonna benefit one person.
Oh, I love
Let's just
that.
that one person might take us to Jenna fam.
Literally.
And she said, boom, I'm there. So we told a story. Imagine she's like, Ada, you never told me you had this many. I said, I didn't know either, fam. I think I'm bots.
It's news to me too.
I said, these are all bots. It can't be real. And for so long, I thought they were bots. I said, they're
Yeah.
fake, fam. This is not
Wow.
real metrics. Because who podcasted at that time, like in 2022? I
Exactly.
didn't know.
No, literally.
Didn't know anyone, really. So I was like confused on how this worked. It was one day I was taking food to my aunt during COVID. I went in the elevator and I asked her, yo, press number 14. She looked at me like this. Are you
recognized
Ada?
your
And
voice.
I know your
And guess what? I
voice.
thought she was from my cop mosque. I said, yo, we go to the same mosque? She said, girl,
we
did you
go to the same
Small
Spotify link.
world.
She said, girl, did you have a podcast? I said, I do. How do you know about it? She goes, I don't know. I found it. And I just want to tell you, like, my grandmother recently passed away. Your podcast has helped me, carried me through that grief. And I just wanted to, and that was the first time I ever heard that. I said, what is
You're
going
thinking,
on?
what am I doing? Like,
Yeah,
how
I was
much
like,
power do I
'cause
have?
Imagine, it's not video, right? It's just audio. It's just me.
Exactly.
You know,
Can you
just-
imagine that it's not video and
No, it's
that's
not
the impact
video.
that you've had?
Millions
And
of
I'm telling
listeners.
you,
And
especially
it's only been
Subhanallah.
like just about 4 years,
the
basically.
only 4. I mean, the day we beat Joe Rogan in the charts.
Can we
I remember-
believe
and
that?
can we talk about this for a second?
Can
Forget
we?
about-
Can we?
Can we
For a
talk about-
second.
put Joe Rogan aside, okay?
Yeah. No,
By the way,
no,
fun
genuinely,
fact, he and I are born on the same day.
Stop it.
I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
That's trippy.
So one time a white guy told me, because you know, you and Joe Rogan, born same day. I said, I don't like that. But that also gives me an interesting origin story here.
Yeah.
He's born August 11th. I'm born August 11th. So fascinating. But forget about Joe Rogan for a second. The week that we were, it was the episode. Her name is Hannah.
Yeah.
It really took over the world. That one story took over the world.
So powerful.
People didn't know about us, knew about us now, and at that point we already had like 20 plus episodes. So people were like, "Who are these girls?"
Oh, of course. We went to backtrack and listen to everything else.
The time that we were trending on Twitter and it went kind of like we were on the top charts, we beat Call Her, and this is what I care about. This is the only fact I care. We beat Call Her Daddy during the week Hailey Bieber came on to talk about Selena Gomez. So that was a big deal. Imagine that's the first time she's ever spoke about it.
That's a big pop culture moment.
And guess what? We beat her. Until today, people keep talking about Joe Rogan. I don't care about that fact.
Yeah,
I beat her.
That's
I beat her when Hailey Bieber was on the chair. Talking about her mad about some ex.
Literally.
Genuinely
Diabolical. And we did that with a $200 budget. Over a $6 million budget.
It's literally.
And all I'm trying to say is, well, look what Allah SWT can do with just your story,
just our community,
and just of you praising Allah SWT will raise you above everyone else. How till to this day, when I got invited to all these different companies and networks, they kept asking me, "How'd you do it?" I said, "La ilaha illallah."
It's true.
No, there's no better marketer than Allah.
Literally.
If He wants to make us bigger than the world, He will make it, and you will be pissed off.
Yeah.
But Allah SWT is capable of all things, and so. What I wanted to show people really was like, look how one story about Allah can be all of these $1 billion, $1 million podcast productions.
Just imagine how much you had to pay Hailey Bieber.
Exactly.
And you sat there in a £200 budget and you beat it with no fault.
Not even $200 pound, 200 Canadian. Your girls are bigger than that. It's cheaper than that. It's cheaper than that. And I just, and I really wish people would really reflect on that you can do something of khair and it can be monumental and truly impactful. If you remember that who you're doing it for.
Exactly.
You don't really need, I realize you really don't need much more. If Allah says yes, who can say no?
Yes.
Exactly.
If Allah says yes, who can say no? If you have Allah, who do you need?
100%.
No one. And I tell you, this podcast, Digital Podcast, is a testimony of that. It is a podcast that started in someone's bedroom. Yeah, Allah SWT took it to heights simply by sharing the stories about Him.
Exactly.
And those that He's guided. Khalas.
Wow.
Takbir.
Allahu Akbar.
Allahu Akbar. And on that note, guys, that is all we have time for today.
I'm so sorry, because I know everyone's actually angry at
I know. Guys, she'll be back. Don't worry, she'll be back.
She'll be back.
And guys, we will be in Toronto soon, inshallah.
Yes, you have to. You
Everyone
have to.
tune into the new season. It's actually launching when?
Ramadan, first
Ramadan,
Friday.
which is so exciting.
Yes, it is.
exciting.
Season 7. We'll
Oh
be
my
in your
God.
ears and your speakers telling you a good story.
It's a great story.
I love that.
Yes.
I love it.
Oh yeah, because you have such a great
Like
storytelling
distinctive,
voice.
Do I
like
actually?
voice. You
But yeah,
do.
you actually have a gift. Allahumma barik.
Really?
Like, for
I have-
storytelling.
Interesting enough, I have a speech impediment. You know, it's so crazy.
I've
Remember I
never
told you I had
noticed
speech. It's
I've
funny.
never noticed it, yeah.
You know, it's because of the dua, but also, it's, Allah SWT can make you all things. You know,
Yeah.
even me who had a speech impediment could be a part. It's ajib. But to be honest, when Musa had a speech impediment, he's a
Exactly.
prophet.
That's
Yeah.
true.
You know, Allah picks all interesting people, but He's the one that gives you the ability. You know, so alhamdulillah.
No, honestly, we actually need to wrap up because every time we
The
wrap
power
up,
of
we
Allah.
end
I know.
Yes.
All right,
Alright,
guys.
guys.
It's been
Love
your
you
boy.
guys.
Bye.
Assalamu
Assalamu alaikum.
Don't ever get it twisted. People think I'm from Minnesota.
how's
And
it-
I love my Minnesota people.
Yeah.
But no. I'm not
That's
from
not you.
You're
Minnesota.
Toronto, born
You're
and
Toronto.
Born
bred.
and
Peru and Peru.
raised. Let me be proud where I'm from.
So what's different about Canadian tux compared to other tux?
Yeah.
Oh, it's just denim on denim. So even my jacket, I'm not wearing it. It's denim. If I can make my niqab into denim, it would have. I didn't have time. I didn't have time to make
If
it.
you can see her shoes right now, yeah.
No, I think
We're
it's
gonna
fine.
show you
I'm
the
gonna
shoe
insert
cap.
it.
I have them, and they're in red, and I bought them specifically red because I want to look like Dorothy.
Dorothy.
I'm somewhere over the rainbow. The rainbow belongs to Allah SWT.
There's no place like home.
If you want to go home.
Because
Oh my God.
it's
Shoe
giving
cam.
Dorothy. It's really
Shoe
giving
cam.
Dorothy. Your shoes are matching my
Oh my God.
It actually
Oh my God,
is.
We're
Swap, man.
we should swap. You should be on my side.
Yeah.